Over the top with Chad and Tony, talking about movies and wrestling. Hot mic chance, Georgia team hating on me. Gene, BJ the DJ keeps the party going. Brandon E brings the heat. We don't know how to speak. Running wild on you, brother. We're over the top. Rocking it back to the vintage scene. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central. With epic thumbnails from the Viz. It's a must-see. Gonna bring you the best. Legends you remember from the ring and silver screen. We're over the top. Get ready for a good time.
Bow! What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad, aka Chatty Bobby. Hollandoni!
I'll go a little bit slower. My name is Tony, a.k.a. Friday the 14th.
Hello, my name is Hot Mike Chance.
Bow!
Oh, is that your spooky voice coming out right there?
I guess.
Since we're halfway through October now. Well, we're more than halfway through October. We're about 3/4 of the way now.
Something like that. We got episode 85, man. Over the top with Chad, Tony, Chance, BJ the DJ, Brandon E. It's just a three-man band again tonight, man. We're here to bring y'all 85 episodes. This is the 85th episode. Shout out Derek Mason.
Yes.
Tennessee Titan Derek Mason, not Baltimore Raven Derek Mason.
No, get out of here.
But we're here to talk about the best horror films in the 2000s.
Yes.
Which is the year 2000 and 2009.
Yes,
correct?
that's what
Okay.
we're going with.
Now, we found a list on Collider.com, which is a real reputable site.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We looked at the IMDb site,
Terrible.
and it was all over the place.
Yeah,
So he found a better one.
Yeah, IMDb to me is kind of like Rotten Tomatoes. They don't like the movies we like.
As much as we love horror movies, in the top 15 of the 2000s, I didn't even know half of them.
Yeah.
They're foreign films with no shade to them. I just hadn't seen them.
Yeah.
But this list
my
seems
style.
like more our style. So Collider.com, we'll even put the link in the description if y'all want to check it out with us.
Yeah, it's a dope list.
But
Some of our favorites. There's a couple on here that... we'll just throw this one out there. I don't understand why this one is so at the top of a lot of people's list, but that is Session 9 from 2009. I don't get it. The movie sucked.
Bro,
It was a snooze fest.
we heard everybody blowing this movie for years, and then Scream Factory put it out on Blu-ray. We all three bought it, me, you, and Jordan.
Yeah.
Viz. And we all three watched it, and we all were like, what are we missing?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't.
David Caruso, first of all, is the star of the movie from CSI Miami.
Terrible. I'm not sold. I was never a CSI Miami
No,
fan.
and nothing against David Caruso, but he's vanilla paste, bro. Like, he's not.
It's such a bland movie. And
Yeah, I just don't
it's
get
one
it.
of those movies. Oh, this is one of the scariest paranormal movies in the last 20 years. Blah blah blah. And it's just like it did nothing. It was just
man.
nothingness.
Session 9, loved it. Never seen it.
Okay.
Never gonna watch it now.
I was fixing to say, of course, Chance is going to go against the grain with everything on this one.
No.
But no, I don't understand it because I checked a couple lists out and everybody has Session 9 at the top of their list. I don't get it. It's not one that.
Yeah,
Shoo.
I'm gonna
So how
trust y'all and stay away from that one.
Shoo.
Well, before we get into this, shout out to the sponsors, Trouble Spirits, Revolution One Media, and all the wrestling gang.
Yep.
We'll be back with another wrestling episode next week. We're going to be talking about The Undertaker
For Halloween.
for Halloween, so tune into that. Thank y'all for 900 subscribers. We're on the road to 1,000. Be sure to share, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to it. It's the 1,000. The 1,000 is a huge goal for us, and with y'all's help, we'll definitely be able to get there. And we appreciate it more than anything.
Yeah. So
You want to throw one out there,
How do
Chance,
you
want
want to do this? Are we going to go through this list, or we just? How do
Yeah,
you
we'll
wanna
just
do it?
bounce off this list. Just bounce some movies off of this list. Some of that sticks out to y'all.
Okay.
Who wants to? You want to throw one out from the beginning?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with one of the craziest movies of all time to me, Saw.
Oh, dude.
Oh man.
I remember watching this for the first time and seeing that ending was just like, what?
Yep.
The ending's one of the best endings to a horror movie ever, in my opinion. But the first time watching, I was like, "Oh, that was my first time really getting into like the, I guess you could torture horror and stuff."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Saw is one of my favorite. It's top 10 favorite horror movie for me. Love that franchise. It's essentially the same movie.
Yeah.
After part 3,
Yeah.
it's the same movie. However, I did really enjoy the newest installment of the Saw movies. I thought it was really good.
It's got some of the most brutal kills out of the whole franchise in there.
Yeah, couldn't stand Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand, but not, I won't say couldn't stand it. Didn't really care for Spiral.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. If you,
It was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right, but hated Jigsaw. It felt like a CSI episode.
Yeah.
But that's all part of the later on. But the original Saw film is
It's game changing.
a horror. I think it's a masterpiece from the suspense of it, the gore, the score of it.
Oh yeah, that song's iconic.
The
now.
John Kramer character is an iconic horror movie character.
Yeah.
You know, that theme is one of the coolest themes in horror. Obviously you got the Nightmare on Elm Street theme, but like the Saw theme to me is up there with some of my favorite themes in horror movies.
Oh yeah, dun, and then there's so many ways that I've heard that like song adjusted, even in the hip hop world that you're in and everything. I've heard it's one of. I'm with you. It's up there with one of the top themes in horror movie history. In movie history, I mean, it's when you hear that, you automatically think it's Saw you think of and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, just everything about that movie is just primo.
Yeah.
I'll throw one out there. One from the early 2000s, 2001. We've covered this franchise before, but the first Final Destination movie.
Another one of my.
Yep.
Yeah.
The first we've discussed, like I said, we've discussed that one in depth. But the first one was just totally different than anything we've seen before.
You changed the game for horror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's one of those movies that'll have you like walking around for a few weeks, just looking at, watching out for everything.
Yeah.
Dude, even if you go facts, Chance,
Yep.
even if you go back and watch our Final Destination, because we did the entire franchise in detail.
Mm-hmm.
That episode was weird as shit that night. The power went out
dude.
twice. When I was coming into the to the studio, there was a pipe leaking out in front of the door that was really weird. That's never happened before. It was just a lot of weird shit going on that night. Storm.
And that was like the only episode that ever happened.
Ever happened, bro.
Ever happened.
The power went out, bro, and it was wild. But love Final Destination. I would say that the Final Destination films, clearly we talked about it, they get worse.
Yeah. The first two.
Yeah. Do you see them making any more?
I hope not.
They don't need to. But
They don't need.
I love
It
the
doesn't need to be
franchise,
done.
However, I say that, and I really only like the first three.
Yeah, it's the
We
first
talked
two.
about that in the
It's the
episode.
first two for me.
The first two, and I love the third one just because of the roller coaster scene, the Tannen salons, and like,
Yeah.
there's some good kills in that one, the drive-through scene. But like after that, I feel like it just got
Jumped the shark,
real bad. Yeah,
and they got really CGI heavy.
that's another reason why the acting got worse. You wasn't getting the big act, like not you was getting big actors, but you was getting Devin Sawa and
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott was in the first one. Yeah.
And I know Chance is over here shaking his head at us because I know you were a fan of pretty much the whole franchise on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like parts of. I mean, even the ones that were towards the end, I liked some of the kills. I just thought it got real. The last two were real rough.
Yeah, I agree.
It's kind of like Fast and Furious. It just kind of
it doesn't get better with the
Yep.
more that come out.
Yeah. I'll do one that it's one of my favorite horror remakes. The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh
man. I absolutely love this movie, man. It is horrible to sit through at times.
It's that one scene for me. It's
got
the one scene for me.
It's got some of the
camper
cringiest
scene.
Yeah, it's got some of the cringiest scenes.
But man, it's so well. It's really well shot for being a grimy movie like that. That makes you uncomfortable pretty much the whole time watching it. It's really well shot. The score's good to it. The practical effects are there for it. It crosses all the boxes, but it's just that one scene. That's a tough one.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love the original one too. I love that this one is a different take, but like this whole time frame, you're going to see several remakes being talked about in this episode because this was the decade of the remakes. This is just one of several that we're going to speak on, I'm sure. But
and then we've covered a couple with franchises and everything too.
And we did a remakes episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got another one?
Yeah. I really like this franchise, but this one is my favorite. The Paranormal Activity.
Dude, that
2007.
first one. Dude.
Yeah.
I remember watching the first one. I like the first two. I really like the first two in this franchise.
Yeah.
Once they started going the different routes with everything, but man, dude,
I haven't seen the last one that they come out with, but
I haven't either.
yeah, everything up to that
I think it went straight to streaming.
probably.
Yeah, I've seen the whole series. I did like a review on it on my Chatty Bobby channel of all of them because I got that box set or something. I think it's really creepy, man, but at the same time, it's one of those things after the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Just
just the
gets
same
old.
movie, essentially, jump scare, and then it kind of tried to reinvent itself with those last couple, but they kind of just fell flat.
From a cinematic standpoint, I like the first one a lot, and just trying to figure out how they done
did
everything.
it. Yeah. Oh, it's super inventive how they were able to film that movie and put everything together. And that movie, it made it got you scared in that watching that movie.
Yep.
I'll throw one 2002, The Ring.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I love. I remember going to see this one in the theater, and it gave me chills in certain points of it and everything. It would do the nail, the nail scene and everything with that one, and then
that noise she makes.
the noise she made, the scream, that opening scream, and then I forget what his name is, but when the whole bathtub scene with the old man, dude, that whole movie from beginning to end is terrifying.
Yep.
So well done, so well shot. I wasn't so much of a fan of the sequels, but the first one, primo.
Wasn't that from a? It was from a movie, Ringu.
Yeah, it was a Japanese movie, kind of like Ju-On was with I forget what's it, Michelle Pfeiffer. I forget what those were called, but it was along those taking Japanese movies and putting an American twist on them and everything.
Yeah. I love The Ring. Ring's great. That's what started that style horror movie. The jumps, all the Conjuring stuff you see. That's all babies of The Ring.
Yeah, it's all brains.
That's what started it.
That's a good point. I never thought of it like that. And I like it. Yeah.
That's kind of where all that started to switch. That I would say that, and I'll say that one.
Yeah.
Because there was another one, but it wasn't 2000 before that. I'm going to do two for this next one. It was 02 and 07, and that's 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later.
Great movie. Greatness movies.
Danny Boyle. I love these movies, man. I know that 28 Years Later is coming out soon.
It's coming. It's coming. And Cillian Murphy's coming back in this one, too. That's huge. I mean, the guy just won an Oscar.
Yeah. I just love the way these movies are shot. Both movies.
Yes.
The way, especially the way the first one comes on with that score when the guy wakes up and he's the only person alive and where he's at.
Yeah.
And it's just following that. And I love the second one too, man.
Yeah. Oh, they're both. Both of them are right there in one. Right there in horror masterpieces in my mind. I'll throw one right off of that in the Wreck and Wreck 2 then. Because you have 2007 and 2009 with Wreck and Wreck 2.
Yeah.
And I know me, you, and Jordan are huge. Because those two, they're, about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes apiece. Mm-hmm. And, man, from beginning to
Bad
end,
shit, man.
Bad shit, found footage, all contained in one area, and then takes a total twist. Since you've never seen them, takes a total twist in a different direction than you think it is. And it's just... I cannot praise Wreck and Wreck 2 enough to anybody. If you've never seen them, definitely check them out. I think they're Spanish, correct?
Yeah.
But you have to watch them with subtitles on. But masterpieces. The score to those, they remind me a lot like 28 Days Later. And
yeah, they have that vibe for sure.
So
28 Days Later to me is another reason why I love it is that's what started the zombies where they weren't slow moving. They were like the hyper. Terrifying,
coming at you.
Yeah, like that's what changed the game with that too, bro.
The next one I have is I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the best movie of the 2000s, but I've always wanted to know in a horror movie, like I wanted to see it from the killer's eyes, and I think Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon does that. I don't think it's the best. There's not really any great actors in it. There's not.
Well, you got Robert Englund and Kane Hodder in there.
Well, I mean, great horror actors.
Yeah. I remember when the first time I watched it was when Scream Factory first put it out.
Yeah.
And it has a huge cult following to
Yeah.
it and everything, but it just didn't.
It's not one
resonate
that I
with me.
would just watch all the time, but I appreciate what they tried to do there.
They took a totally different,
Yeah.
like you said, especially in the slasher genre, going a totally different direction than anything.
I think if they had a bigger budget, it may have done better. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it's a good one.
hmm
I'll throw a creature feature out there. Cloverfield from 2008. As you can tell, I love found footage movies.
Yep.
But this one was like on a monster movie, had that just that claustrophobic feel, especially when they get down into the subways and like the little bug things are all crawling around. Terrifying. But I remember the trailer. All you see is the Statue of Liberty's head come flying down the street and all that, and you never really saw the monster till the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Very creative to do something like that. Which nowadays it's like, hey, here's the bad guy for you right here in the middle of the trailer. Here's pretty much the whole movie in a trailer. They held a lot out of it.
Yeah, for sure. Looking at the Collider list, I realized they left a lot of dope-ass movies from the 2000s off of there. A lot of them are remakes, but they left a lot of them off. One I'll say that I've always talked about, and I will always talk about, and it's from 2002, Cabin Fever.
Oh, yeah.
Cabin Fever is incredible. It's got horror. It's got comedy. It's the beginning of Eli Roth. You know, there's another one I'm going to talk about from Eli Roth, too, in this video, but Cabin Fever I thought was super well made. Love the practical effects about the flesh-eating disease.
Yeah.
The setting out in the cabin. I just love that. It's a great, great horror movie, man.
Yeah, man. Dude, that whole, I forget what is it. Was it the dude from Boy Meets World that's in that movie?
Yeah, Ryder.
When his, like, the whole leg scene with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was tough, man. It's tough to watch. But I love that movie, man. And I'm a big fan of Eli Roth movies. But that's what got it started for me was Cabin Fever.
Another great one to watch during this time, Trick or Treat, in 2007.
Absolutely.
I was late to that one. I didn't watch
really?
that one until probably about 4 years ago.
Oh,
but
man.
ever since then, it's like on repeat during Halloween.
Is it wild to you that, like, Sam is such a horror icon from
Just that one.
just
one. And he's not even really
he's not
a
even
movie.
a feature
Yeah.
in the movie and everything.
Yep.
He maybe out of the whole runtime, he maybe has 20 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
The whole thing, that ending with him, but it's another. I'm a big fan of horror anthologies as well,
Yeah.
and that's from top to bottom. That was a great one. It's wild to me that there's never been an attempted sequel.
Yeah,
for that
I
one.
can't. Yeah, it's
But
a good Halloween movie, good horror movie all around, and just a fun watch. So if you haven't seen that, check it out.
Yeah, I think it bombed at the box office and when it first came out, and then it just got once it came out to the physical media market, that's when it got its huge following.
Yeah, I don't really remember seeing a whole lot of lead up to
No.
it.
I know there's a cartoon that Sam is like the whole thing is based off of. It's like a little 5-minute cartoon short and everything. But man, Sam is an icon. It's great. It's just I love Sam. I love the character of Sam.
Yep.
But it's just wild to me how he is a icon from one movie
Yeah.
and not even that much screen time in it.
No.
It's kind of like how Art the Clown has taken over the horror world.
Yeah.
I mean, an absolute icon
No, for sure.
nowadays. I'll throw another one out here. 2005. It's one of your favorite horror sequels of all time. The Devil's Rejects.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's my favorite horror sequel.
You can see the Texas Chainsaw influence in it. I love Halloween and Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie, but this is probably my favorite Rob Zombie movie.
Oh, it's 100%. It's the best one.
Um,
It's 100% the best movie, man.
The characters, just from top to bottom, it's
Yeah.
got some tough scenes. It's hard to watch at times, but man, it's so
Everything.
so good.
That's another one, bro. Like I said, I really do feel like the first. I don't even want to say. Well, you can throw House of a Thousand Corpses in there, but
Yeah.
House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and the first Halloween from Rob Zombie, I feel like he was on pace to become one of the best horror movie directors there was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I've grown to like parts of Halloween 2 over the years, But like after that, bro, it was just everything's been a swing and miss.
Lords of Salem. I want to like
31 was a miss.
It's both of those. I
Three
want
from
to,
Hell was atrocious.
Oh, we know your feelings. Bro.
Yeah, it was atrocious, bro. It was terrible.
Like I want to like Lords of Salem and I want to like 31 so bad, but I've tried watching those multiple times, and I can't. They just don't.
No, but Devil's Rejects is 100%. It's my favorite horror movie sequel, but it's one of the best one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Yeah,
for sure. Another one I'll throw out there, man. I don't want to keep naming remakes, so I'll kind of switch it up. Wrong Turn.
Oh yeah,
Wrong
yeah.
Turn was 2003. And fun fact about this, me and Skeggs, shout out Skeggs, we watched this at the theater. This is when we worked at Media Play, 2003. When I first saw it with him at the theater, I hated it. I was like, man, this movie's shitty. He's like, dude, you didn't like it? I thought it was awesome. I was like, man, I didn't really like it. It came out on DVD when we worked there, and I ended up buying it and watched it again, and I liked it better. And now I've just grown. And that was, too, when I was 20 years old. I wasn't as big of a horror fan as I am now. But now I love the first Wrong Turn.
I like
2 is okay.
I like 3. I like the whole franchise.
I hate the last one with the Walking Dead fake family, like that shit. That wasn't even Wrong Turn.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They weren't even like deformed people.
Oh, like the remake.
It came out like last year.
Yes, the Wrong Turn remake. Yeah, that one. That's the only one I really don't like out of the whole franchise.
Yeah, all the other ones are cool, but the first Wrong Turn. And bro, I'll say this, man. I feel like the 2000s had that was the best decade, one of the best decades for horror films, aside from the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I say it's the 80s and then the 2000s, because the 90s were cool here and there, and then ever since 2010, like after this decade, horror movies don't have they're not holding a candle to the movies that were made in this decade.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
But I loved Wrong Turn. Good gore, good effects. It's that same stylistically, they did the same way that like another one that we'll talk about from that same year. I'm sure you'll probably mention it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wrong Turn's awesome.
The next one I got is from 2008, and it's one of my favorite horror movies, The Strangers.
Yes.
I'm a bigger fan of The Strangers too, but The Strangers is a good one.
Well, I remember the first time I watched The Strangers, I watched it by myself sitting at the house, and it legit gave me the will. I mean,
dude.
That's another one that'll have you walking around.
On edge. It's like, who's outside my house
that shit could happen, bro.
Yeah,
knocking on my door.
Anytime I go on vacation, I'm like trying to lock everything up.
Yep. Especially like going up into the mountains and shit.
Especially now, the way as crazy as the world is, like that could 100%.
I'm not I mean, the remake is basically the same as the 2008.
I'm gonna watch it because it's free, but you said it's a waste of time.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd watch it because I think they're gonna come out with some more, and I think we're about to get. Yeah, I think we're.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. I've got like a list of like 10 horror movies that I've got to get watched by the end of the year. I've watched about 10 so far. I'm not going to be able to get to 40 or 50 like I was hoping, but I definitely got 10 that I want to make sure I watch, and that's on that list.
Well, you're on a good pace because, like I said, I only got like 23 movies on my 24 list. So I mean, I'm trying not to weed out watching garbage. There's some I have come across. Well, I'll throw one out. I don't know if you've seen it. I think you have, but from 2005, Wolf Creek.
Oh, yeah. Wolf Creek's a good one.
So good. It's set in
That's the Australian one, right?
Yeah, set in the Australian outback. People try to go hiking. They come across Mick, and Mick is a bad motherfucker. I even like the sequel's just as good, too. But, yeah, Wolf Creek Mick is a deranged dude. It's another one of those torture ones and everything, too. But it's the whole... I love the Mick as a character and everything. His strong accent. It's one. Definitely check it out if you've never seen that one.
So I'm just going to put all these in one because I feel like they got to get spoken about because we're closing in on 30 minutes. But I'm just going to put a batch of remakes that I haven't talked about and we've already spoken about them in detail on the remakes episode. But you've got Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
2004, I believe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You've got Amityville.
Yes.
With Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, I love that one.
I'm not off the top of my head. It's on this list, but I don't want to scroll by it. But it's from this time. You've got House of Wax,
Yes.
which is an outstanding movie. That's also a remake from. I had never seen the original.
I
but-
haven't either. Vincent Price, I think.
Yeah, Vincent. Yeah, love that. That's one of my favorite remakes too from that
Yeah.
time frame.
Love House of Wax. I'm a strong defender on that one.
You've got Halloween, which we
Yep.
spoke about
Yeah.
a minute ago. We won't have to go into detail. We've had a
Full on 2 episodes on Halloween franchise.
and then
TCM.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep. We've talked about that one.
Yeah, and which Tony likes more than original. Totally get it. I love it. I love that movie. Bro.
Yeah.
And fuck, Last House on the Left was
Yeah.
a remake.
Yeah. Friday
Aaron Paul.
13th.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So all of these,
And I'm a
we've spoken-
defender of the Friday the 13th 2009.
That's one
the
of my
first
favorites.
20 minutes I think is incredible.
Yeah, there's some parts that are your tits are stupendous. That's
Well,
ridiculous.
yeah, but I mean, look at some of the stuff that fucking Crispin Glover was saying.
Yeah.
So it's like that's just the new version of that.
Yeah,
you
Derek.
know?
I love Derek. I love the tunnel system, the whole tunnel system set up under Crystal Lake and everything. I love Derek Mears' portrayal as Jason too,
Yep.
especially in the Sackhead. That's my primo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so many remakes of that.
Dude, well, Last House on the Left, I thought was. I know
It's
that's
tough.
not-
It's
tough
tough.
to watch. This one's really bad.
Yeah.
Like because the original Wes Craven one is rough. This one's even rougher because there's like an extended grape scene.
Yeah,
You have Aaron Paul in it from Breaking Bad.
yeah. The
but
microwave scene.
yeah,
in
the
that
micro.
one.
But great remake. You had My Bloody Valentine.
Yes, with our boy Tom. Everybody calm down.
These were all in the. Now we're going to end the remake portion with a turd.
Oh,
2010. Well, no, never mind. We're not going to say it. No.
okay. No,
Well,
no.
I'll say it because we're not going to speak about it much. We'll say this because it's at the beginning. Nightmare on Elm Street remake was 2010. Now I know. Well, does
That's
that count?
terrible.
No, 09 is where we stopped.
Yeah,
But
we won't
that
talk
just
about it.
yeah that kind of that sums
That's a
up
teaser for
that
the next.
decade. Yeah, that sums up the decade. How that decade was going to
Yeah,
start.
yeah. I mean,
Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
well, I'll throw one from the year 2000 that we didn't cover on here too with Christian Bale in it,
Yep.
American Psycho. Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
It had a young Jared Leto in that one, getting his head knocked off. I mean, just just Patrick Bateman, just the creepiness of Bateman. The whole movie is just.
That was a good start to that decade.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's right at the beginning of it. And everybody, I think that one doesn't get enough credit that it's due for it either.
Yeah.
No. Well, sorry, dude. I keep talking about these.
Go get it,
But-
get it.
There's another 2 remakes from the 2000s that are solid. Black Christmas.
Yes, yes,
2006.
I love it.
Dope remake, Jaundice. I call it Jaundice, the movie. But because the way they
And I'll be blasphemy on this one too. I'll have more fun with that.
well, I
one
mean, the first one, bro, it's the first slasher
yeah,
ever, and I love it, but it's not. I'd rather watch that
Yeah,
because it's.
yeah.
I mean, it's more watchable.
yeah,
Um,
bingo.
But then you had another one that was dope from 2007, The Hitcher.
Yes, dude. Yes, I love that
which
remake.
I love the original with Rutger Hauer.
Yeah,
But the remake had Sophia Bush in it, and it was fucking crazy,
It's
bro.
good
It was a
one.
good remake, dude.
and that one's never really gotten a
Never.
U.S. Blu-ray
No,
release or
bro.
anything.
Nobody ever talks about it.
Good
And
call.
then you
in.
had The Fog, which was god awful.
Yeah.
2005. So you did have a turd sprinkled in on these remakes.
just dusted
Yeah, a
in
little
there.
Salt Bay to turd in there. The Fog was horrible.
Well, Joyride from 2001, Candy Cane.
That's a remake?
No, it's not a remake,
Oh,
but it's a.
oh, Joyride's an awesome movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a blast with Joyride.
Joyride's an awesome movie, man. Chance, you got any other ones?
Just one that's kind of a comedic horror movie, Shaun of the Dead.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
That's
was that 04?
Yeah. Yep.
No, yeah. Shaun of the Dead's great, man. I love
That's a fun one.
yeah.
I love that. I loved Hot Fuzz. I loved Paul. I thought Paul was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Out of
The
that
World's
whole-
End was okay.
I think Shaun of the Dead is my favorite
It's
out
the
of
best
all of
one.
it. Yeah,
it's the best one.
Yep.
Then you had 05, man. Eli Roth again, Hostel.
Yeah, see, you're a fan.
I love Hostel, but the first two, the third one, he had nothing to do with the third one. It's like one of those straight to. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's kind of just blah.
Yeah.
But the first two, if you can watch them, if you're into that kind of stuff, because it's rough, but it's that torture horror shit. But it's I loved them.
The movie that I was thinking of earlier it was The Grudge.
Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking
Oh,
of.
Yep,
you're
yep,
talking about Sharon Michelle.
Cheryl, yeah, not Michelle Pfeiffer. I said Michelle
I
Pfeiffer.
was like, who's Michelle
Yeah,
Pfeiffer done?
I had Batman Returns on the brain. I
That's-
watched the
Shout
video
out.
on Batman Returns.
That's the one that makes the noise too. I said it was
Yeah,
Ring,
with the
but
little
it's
kid.
that. Yep.
Yeah, it's the little kid. But no, the scream in the Ring where the girl's face in the closet.
I just remember her coming out of that TV.
Yeah, dude. One that I'm a fan of, it's from 2008, and it's a foreign movie. I forget what country it's from, but Let the Right One In.
Oh, yeah. Another
with the-
remake?
Yeah.
Chloe Grace, was it?
No, this is the original one.
Oh, okay.
Let Me In is the remake.
I'm tripping. Yeah.
Yeah, Let Me In.
The right one is
Let
the
the
one.
Right
that-
One In
yeah.
is the original, but man, it is brutal. That little girl is brutal. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
It's a vampire flick.
Mm-hmm.
The little girl's a vampire. She becomes friends with a boy that gets picked on a lot, and she takes care of him.
Oh, okay. I need to check it out.
Yeah, it's a good one. I'm a fan of Let Me In as well. The remake of it, the U.S. remake of it,
Yeah. Oh,
with
yeah, that's a
Chloe.
good one. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, there's more that we can come back to this episode.
There's more
too.
remakes we didn't talk about. They wasn't really good. But another one I'll throw out there. I guess it'll be the last one I'll throw out there for now. See No Evil. with
Oh
Kane.
yeah, with Kane. Yes.
2006. That was a solid one. It was much better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be dog shit because it was one of those WWE horror movies. But I thought it was solid. I thought Kane did a good job in
yeah.
it.
I gotta mention one more.
Yeah. We got to throw that one out there.
Did
Yeah,
you
go
talk about
ahead.
The Descent?
No, we didn't talk about the. No.
Fuck, bro.
Jeez.
There's so many.
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Chance.
Chance. My bad. We'll come
Dead
back to it.
Silence.
Yes,
I
dude.
like that. The music in that is creepy too.
That's a James Wan movie.
Was that his first one?
Yeah.
That got him going?
It may have been one of his
It was
early
before
ones.
Insidious,
Yeah.
I know.
With the little puppet and everything. Yes. But like you said, if you want to throw that next one off that you had on your list, but The Descent from 2005 is phenomenal. Love that movie. I will never go spelunking ever
No.
due to that movie.
No, not at all. Another one that I always thought was pretty solid was from 2008, The Ruins.
Yes, it's
I thought
another
The
one.
Ruins was a good one. It was solid.
The killer weed.
The Killer Weed, yeah, for sure. And you had The Ginger Dead Man, like Brandon said in an episode previous, one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, I see. That was one of the. That was part of that whole full moon, like the
Yeah,
Puppet
I
Master
could never
stuff.
get, I could never get into that stuff, but I just mentioned that because Brandon was joking.
Whoa, Sting, where you going?
Stings out.
Sting's down.
Sting's he's putting over the Ginger Dead Man. Dude.
It's been a long night.
He said that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Unless you got another one you want to throw out there.
No, man, I'm sure we're gonna get off of here, and I'm gonna forget. You know, I'm gonna.
But
like,
this is one of those that we can always come back to. We can.
We'd have
do.
to. The majority of the ones I spoke about were remakes, but it was because they made 15 good remakes
Yeah,
in the
there's
2000s.
the 2000s
Oh,
were
one more. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Last one.
Hot
Hatchet.
yes, Victor Crowley.
Yeah, Victor
that-
Crowley. The first Hatchet, I want to say, was 06.
Yeah,
07,
Adam
something like that.
Green.
Adam Green. Douchebag in real life.
Yeah, well, I've never
makes
forget
solid
when
horror movies.
Jordan said, "Man, this movie's super underrated." Huh? Frozen.
Yes,
Frozen
dude.
was from the
We
2000s.
saw Adam Green at Full Moon
Yeah.
Horror Convention in like 2016 or 17 or
Yeah,
something.
so early.
And we're all there, and it was Sid Haig was there. It was a couple of years before he passed, so he was still in.
Yeah.
He wasn't really.
That's
like,
my first
sick.
time ever meeting him.
Yeah, but he was doing cheap autographs, like 10.
It's like
15
yeah,
bucks a
it was
piece.
like and sat there and talked with you.
Adam Green was sitting there talking. Well, me and Jordan were sipping Crown in the car, so we were feeling good. We wasn't trying to get autographs. We were just hanging out. So we see Adam Green, and me and Jordan are fans of the movie Frozen.
Yeah.
So Jordan's like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to say, that I thought Frozen was really underrated." And he like got offended that Jordan said that. I'm like, that's a compliment.
Yeah,
And it's like, there's no reason, no wonder you ain't have nobody to fucking
it's
buy
not
an
like
autograph
it's
from you,
a
dude.
freaking
you asshole.
mainstream movie you put out in the theaters.
It's like, if he said it was overrated, but even if he would have said that, like, if somebody was to come up to me and say, Chad, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not hating her, but I just kind of think you're overrated. I'd be like, oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah. That's your opinion.
But when somebody tells me I'm underrated, that's a high compliment because I'm like, they hold me in higher regard than the mass does.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adam Green was a douchebag.
Yeah.
It's that day, I'm not saying he's a douchebag forever.
Yeah.
But-
Now those Hatchet sequels, not so much. The first Hatchet movie,
Yeah.
It's solid.
The last one, no.
that was the Victor Crowley one, wasn't it?
Yeah, R.I.P. to Kimbe, but no.
No, sir. No, sir. But no, the 2000s were a solid decade. And
It was, man. It was great, and this was fun to do. This was a kind of like a speed round, but I think we talked about the majority. There's some that we obviously left off. But y'all comment below. Let us know y'all's favorite movies from the 2000s when it comes to horror movies. Let us know what you thought about what we thought about these, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks to Trouble Spirits, Revolution One Media, and all the wrestlers. And we'll see y'all on the next episode, baby.
Stay up, Sting. We out this motherfucker.